When you're in restricted housing, you're stuck with just yourself.
Just the monotony and the total solitude. When I first came in, I started hearing voices.
And you're just sitting there counting the bricks, thinking.
It starts out slow, but then, as the boredom sets in and the monotony sets in, then they just start losing it. And you hear them screaming on the tier and banging on metal and doing all kinds of crazy things.
You sit in there for so long, and then when you finally come out your cell, you feel like you're walking out of a cave, and it's hard on your eyes, so you can't adjust. And then you go back into this cage after 1 hour of putting you back in there. It tears you apart. And if you're not strong, it will actually destroy you.
The isolated setting is very challenging for many people. Taking away a person's liberty is one thing. Confining them into a smaller setting inside of a prison is another thing. And there are definite impacts to that.
I remember Mitchell Root made a comment to me one day saying, at least he get to go die. He don't have to sit here for the rest of his life like I did at 19 and 20 years old with the rest of my life to go and didn't know when I was ever gonna get out of there.
We know that long-term, prolonged, and indefinite stays in restrictive housing, conditions of confinement that are 22 and 23 hours in their cell, can lead to really serious detriment to the person experiencing that. They are often the most dangerous units as well. People come out of them at greater risk for self-injury and injuring others, so it doesn't actually accomplish the mission that a lot of people think that it does or should.
Boredom can cause people to act out or take it out on folks that are going to be coming up to their cells, and I think that's our staff. I think it's pretty easy for people to want to isolate. A lot of the folks that we have incarcerated here prefer isolation, but that doesn't do anything to benefit their mind, their soul, and prepare them for what's coming.
Today, I'm 54 years old, but I still go back and think about 30 years ago, how I felt when I was in that place. It still has an effect on me today.
The time for change is clearly at our doorstep. We have to look at how we've been performing in this area. We've always been a national leader, but it's certainly time to change. It's time for our system to evolve.
The Department of Corrections has set a goal of reducing solitary confinement by 90% in 5 years.
We're looking for really the opportunity to get people meaningful out-of-cell engagement, where they have the opportunity to connect with others, to really gain some tools that will help them interact regularly with others in general population, but ultimately to help them build the tools necessary for them to get back into the community safely.
But it's got to start with bringing them out of their cell and engaging with them.
Our goal at the end of the day is to set a national standard of 4 hours of out-of-cell time for every individual every day.
This is a way for us to create safer communities and safer prisons.
I grew up in this business, starting my work in restrictive housing. I know it inside and out, as does the team who's working diligently to get this across the finish line. Our number one priority is to make sure that we have an avenue to keep staff safe, to do this the right way, and keep incarcerated safe all at the same time. We can't do away with restrictive housing entirely. We've got some really dangerous incarcerated individuals in our system, and that this becomes the only safe housing environment for them. We also have some high-profile individuals that would become immediate targets if they were released into general population. That could result in their death. So we're determined to create a safe system of care where people can receive humane treatment regardless of where they are in our system.
Our staff, they're stepping up to the plate. I know it comes with some uncertainties, but there's no growth in comfort, and so this is an opportunity for us to help them.
I'd like to see corrections in the future as a helping profession and a profession where people want to help and rehabilitate people.
All of this is really designed and defined to get us across the finish line with moving people towards becoming better neighbors at the end of the day.
And what we know in this business, most people leave prison.
These are the people that someday gonna get home, that someday gonna go home. I think it's over, 91% of the people inside of prison are gonna eventually go home. And if that's the person you're gonna be investing in to not come back, you need to help those people become prepared to be the neighbors you want them to be.